Hello, it's Nara here. In the last video, I talked about part 2 of Support Artist. If you haven't watched the video, please check it out on the link above. Or if you haven't watched part 1 yet, please check it out in the link above as well. In today's video, I will talk about bracelets, engraving choices, and card set, and my thought about specialization support artists. So let's jump into it. Before I talk about bracelet options, first I'll explain what is bracelet. Bracelet is an accessory that you can start equipping after reaching 1490 item level. You can equip ancient level bracelet at 1540 item level. You can obtain bracelets from 1490 plus chaos dungeons, 1490 plus guardian raids, and Braille Shelter raid, and Siege Island event one shore 1490. Bracelets has random options upon obtaining, and there are random numbers between 1 to 2 lines of identified lines and between 1 to 4 lines of unidentified lines, depends on whether if it is relic level or ancient level. You can't reroll the lines that you got once you obtain the bracelet, but you can identify unidentified ones by using silvers up to 3 attempts per bracelet, and silver cost goes up each time you reroll. If you like newly identified lines, you can lock it and reroll the rest of the lines, but if you don't like it, you can reroll until all the attempts are used. And you can upgrade your equipped bracelet into ancient level through bracelet NPC after Belshazzar hard patch. When you upgrade your bracelet from relic to ancient, you get one extra identified line and you get to reroll that specific line, and every other lines are going to be locked. Disclaimer before I talk more about bracelet: do not try to go for best in slot. It is extremely high RNG based item and it will make your wallet cry. Now let's talk about the valid lines for a bracelet for support artists. Valid lines are Swiftness, Cheer, Expose Weakness, Dagger. Cheer is buffed to your party members for 5 seconds when you give them shield or heal. Expose Weakness is reducing enemies' crit resistance when you successfully attack an enemy. Dagger is reducing enemies' defense when you successfully attack an enemy. Optional lines that are acceptable are Intelligence, Specializations, Vitality, Mana Retrieve, Enlighten. Mana Retrieve is 20% chance of restoring MP. Enlighten lets you gain more identity gauge when you successfully attack an enemy. As a starting bracelet, it is fine to have only Swiftness, or you can try for Swiftness plus one line that were mentioned. Moving on, I want to talk about some engraving choices once you reach ancient level gear. Disclaimer: the engravings are based off preference. There are no right, no wrong engravings. Ancient level accessories we get to equip extra 1 level engraving, and with that, there are some options that are available. First option is Crisis Evasion. Reason behind is for your own safety. It is useless if you're experiencing a raid, but sometimes accidents happen. Also, it might come into clutch when you are attempting Invincible Raid achievement or when you are doing learning or blind party. Second option is Explosive Expert. Reason behind is that with Belshazzar release and Elgacia Abyssal Dungeon release in future, the time spent in raids are increasing. So some supports take this engraving in order for DPS character to do more damage and end the raids more quickly. Third option is Spirit Absorptions. Reason behind is to combat one of the cons of artists, which is long animation skills. Since Yearning of the Swamp set effect doesn't affect artists, so artists take this engraving in order to have max attack speed so they can cycle through skills faster and help party members. But cons of this build is that in order to become fully effective, you have to read 2 legendary engravings and Spirit Absorptions has to be level 2. And also this build is catered towards higher swiftness, which means that you can come to compromise with quality of accessories. If you are planning to take Spirit Absorptions, your engravings will look like Bloom, Awakening, Expert, Battle Point Hit, Heavy Armor 2, Spirit Absorption 2. In order to make this build possible, you have to carve a stone with either heavy armor or spirit absorption, and at least cut 7-7 or 9-5 with it. Or you can cut without heavy armor nor spirit absorption, but it has to be 9-6 or above. You can do this engraving in relic level as well, but you have to have 9-7 or above. These were the engravings options that you can take once you acquire 1540 item level, but it is also fine by just having 3x5 support build as well, because after all, engravings are all in preference. Specialization support generally don't have good impression, maybe because of specialization supports can shield or buff more frequently than swiftness supports, and support classes have lower specialization scaling than other classes, or also because it has an impression of being cheap. But in reality, as in gaining identity gauge, doesn't really fall behind swiftness supports. The downside of specialization artists is that it is less practical because it requires higher level cooldown gems, and also there's about 5-second delay on damage buff. The minimum required level for cooldown gems are 9. If you want to build specialization support artists, the engravings that you use are Loom, Awakening, Expert, Heavy Armor, Spirit Absorption. If you were to ask me that do I recommend this build, my answer it is your choice. Lastly, let's talk about card set. Card set that is recommended for new players are Trixion set. If you were playing Lost Ark for a while, recommended card set is Field Boss 2 set. From there, slowly work towards Lost Wing Cliff set. Card system in Lost Ark is heavily time and money gated system, so don't feel rushed about Lost Wing Cliff set, it will come eventually. You're pretty much set for your Lost Ark journey even if you have Field Boss 2 set. With that being said, this concludes Support Artist Guide. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe, it will help a ton. Or if you want to catch me live, come to twitch.tv/Naru_Omin. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.